It's New Year's, Lisa.
I know, Thomas.
That's some corny shit. 2016 comes to an end. Now, I know a lot of people are out there partying, doing their thing, and thinking, this next year is going to be so much better. My life is going to be so much better. I'm going to do all this differently. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to quit beating my cat, or whatever the fuck you've been doing for the past year. You know, less celebrities are going to die this next year. But, you know,
oh my God.
It's just, a year is just an arbitrary measurement of time. That's it.
Right.
The Earth has gone around the sun once, and it's once more back at that same location.
Yes, the beginning and the end is not inside of 365 days.
Nah, and what the fuck is going to change?
Yeah, nothing.
You know what I mean? Unless you decide really it's going to change.
Right.
Sincerely.
Yeah.
You know. But this past year has definitely been a motherfucker.
Oh,
without
yeah.
a doubt.
Yeah.
It's been a
in more ways than one.
Yeah. For instance, I mean, just right off the bat, I mean, the degree of celebrities that have died has been fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean,
and there's been a lot more celebrity deaths than just like the 3 or 4 important ones.
well, the ones
it's all a matter of perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
And, you know, the people say celebrities die in threes. And it's like, come on, give me a fucking break. But anyway, you know, they died in dozens this year.
Oh yeah.
And it wasn't. And usually you have a couple of like big names, but this year it's shitload.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, and our own little personal experience.
Yes. Something else.
Yes. Losing absolutely fucking everything.
Everything, yes.
Home, business.
The winery, the environment, our festival site, you know.
The headquarters for the sect.
Yeah,
all of it.
The offices.
Gone in one day, within just a few hours.
Probably about 10 minutes.
Yeah, and how did we find out? Watching the fucking news.
Yeah.
Watching the news. But it's New Year, so we're going to celebrate. How are we going to celebrate? With my new toy.
We recover very quickly.
Yes. It's one thing about losing everything. There's a fun aspect of it, and that is replenishing.
Oh yeah.
That's been a kick, without a doubt. And
you got to approach it with humor. Of course, there's always a mourning period, or you know, and that's just.
But I want to get back to my new toy.
Oh, I'm sorry, your new toy.
1860 Colt revolver.
Oh yeah, it's nice.
Now, granted,
and I'm Canadian, and I don't know anything about guns.
It's a replica, but still, it fires.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna light up the sky tonight. A few drinks and fire off an old-timey gun. I'm a history buff, so I like that kind of stuff. But yeah, getting back to what you were gonna say. Recovery for something like that.
Yeah, it's I mean recovering. As I was saying, you mourn for a certain amount of time. I haven't mourned quite normally. I have not broken down completely.
Maybe you don't need to.
Maybe I don't need to. You know, because you know what? There's no time to. When you lose everything, you gotta fight back, and you gotta get on your feet immediately instead of whining and pissing and moaning about it, right? You know, there's no time to grieve because you need to survive, right? And that's sort of the beauty of it all.
The first few days right after it happened were the toughest.
Yes.
But it wasn't until we went to the property and actually, you know, saw it for what it was, and then realized that it's still there in a sense. Mm-hmm. And it can be rebuilt.
And I like what you said. It's not dead. It's just wounded. The heart is still beating.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much so.
And we'll bring it back.
Oh, yeah.
Everything will be groovy again, as the kids say.
You know, was one thing I keep remembering about the fire, and this will be my last thing about it, is when we were going through, like, the debris of our home, both of us, Thomas and I, had left our house and mail keys, you know, because we had to leave so quickly. And Tom actually found his, found our mail key, right? In the debris.
And 2 cups.
Oh yes, I remember
from
telling
China.
I remember telling Jake about this too. That our wedding china. It was antique chinaware, and I found 2 completely preserved little teacups and 2 plates, and so they are now in the cupboard. It was interesting, to say the least. Yeah.
You know what was cool though too, and this is coming from a bunch of evil Satanists and people on the left-hand path, was the support from friends.
Yes.
We got friends, strangers, you name it, and of course they were the standard haters.
Right.
There's a few of those asswipes still, angry at the sect for one reason or another.
Yeah.
But the support. I mean, we of course had, we had our buddy Jake Block.
Yes.
And of course Matt went through it with us.
Mm-hmm.
He went through all the ugliness, and then we had, the sect hierarchy. Those guys, because the sect is run more. It's not just Lisa and I running this. We have others involved, and we had Dimitri keeping it going, and of course, like we said, Jake, and there was Anton Redson or Anton Wolf.
Yeah, yeah,
He's
and
also
our
an
close
inspiration.
friends too. Like,
Yeah.
The emotional and the donations, and Rhonda, Larry, E2 offering his
E2
music.
Right, and in different organizations, like E2's organization,
Yeah.
Herald of the Dawn, and also Church of Rational Satanists.
Yes.
Our buddies over there. And Michael W. Ford stepped up.
Oh, that's right too. That's
Offered
right.
help.
Yeah. And the members that supported us. Thank you can never be enough.
Yeah, it was
ever.
cool. It was
so
cool support.
Touching. Yes, it really was.
But the truth is, I mean, it was a bitch, but I've been through worse.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you handle shit when it gets this bad? The one thing that helps me, I keep with the Nietzschean philosophy.
So do I. Yes,
And
I know what you mean.
And for me, it's the eternal return,
Mm-hmm.
which isn't an objective reality or an objective idea that this is the way it is after death, but it's the idea that what if you were to repeat your life exactly the way it is, everything exactly the same, so like a song on an endless loop,
Right.
just repeating itself over and over and over
Yeah.
again. How would you conduct yourself? How would you act?
Yeah. I know what you're saying, because for me, I look at it like, well, in that respect too, because since I have been, I've been talking about it, but also I look at it in the way that this is the only life I get. Right? What am I going to do with it?
But like I said, the question is, what if you repeat it?
Oh yeah.
How would you conduct yourself
that.
from this point on?
I know.
From this point on, you're going to make the best out of your existence, because you're going to have to live it over and over and over forever. Are you going to be miserable? Are you going to look out? You're going to look for those things that people tend to gravitate toward the negative.
Oh yeah.
And people love to moan and groan and feel sorry for themselves, and they love the attention they get when they do
During
that.
it. Oh yes.
Or are you going to stay positive and try to make the best out of your existence, knowing that you're going to relive it over and over and over?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I couldn't choose anything else. I would never choose to pity myself or feel sorry for myself or... Yeah, the eternal recurrence. That's a biggie. That's
It's a thought experiment. It's
yes.
Nietzsche's thought experiment. For him, it was a way of trying to affirm existence.
Mm-hmm.
Where you had Schopenhauer, who was completely negative and saw, oh, woe is me, and blah, blah, blah. No, Nietzsche was positive.
Yeah, he was. And a lot of people think that he's negative. No. That he
he's the meanie. Oh, shut up. No. It's about, okay, life does have its low points. But it's your job to make the best of it in all this ugliness.
That's right. What other choice is there?
So
in my mind, what other choice is there? I mean, other people have just various choices they think. But,
so in 2017, it's up to you to make it better. Not just because it's suddenly this new number on the calendar. It's all going to be better. Yay, it's a new year. Yeah. Bullshit. You got to make it better.
Yeah.